What if Jesus wasn't trying to start a religion, but to wake you up? What if Buddha never wanted temples built in his name, but for you to discover the silence behind your name? What if your near-death experience, or your last psychedelic journey, wasn't a detour, but a direct invitation? And what if Ra, the Course in Miracles, Krishna, Lao Tzu, Rumi, and that quiet voice within you since childhood, we're all saying the same thing? This isn't an academic video. It's the result of a personal search, an attempt to make sense of my own experiences, and to share the golden thread that, for me, changed everything. We're going beyond belief to touch a recognition that is wordless and undeniable. In this video, I will show you that thread, and the conclusion is more practical and liberating than you can imagine. In every heart, there's a question. Sometimes loud, sometimes buried under jobs and phones and doctrines. But it's always there. Who am I? Why am I here? What is this? This question leads us down 1,000 paths. Some seek in churches, others in the jungle. Some through scripture, some through heartbreak. But always, it leads back to the same door. Let's look at who answered the knock. Jesus said, "The kingdom of heaven is within you. I and the Father are one. Before Abraham was, I am." These aren't just poetic metaphors. They are radical statements of identity. The I am is the assertion of pure being, of consciousness itself. In practice, this means that when you're stuck in traffic, feeling the stress build, you can bring a part of your awareness inward, to the stillness behind your frustration. The traffic doesn't change, but your experience of it transforms. You find the kingdom of peace in the middle of the chaos. A Course in Miracles says, "You think you have separated from God, but that never happened. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists." It tells us this world is a dream, not to escape it, but to awaken within it. Its core practice is forgiveness. Imagine a colleague is rude. The ego feels attacked. The Course's practice is to see this as a call for love from someone suffering in their own dream. By releasing your judgment, you aren't condoning their behavior, you are freeing yourself from the poison of your own anger. You choose peace over being right. Ra, in the Law of One, presents an epic cosmology. All is one. You are everything, every being, every emotion. You are not a part of the Creator. You are the Creator, experiencing itself. Ra explains that we live under a veil of forgetting, so that our choice to remember this oneness is a genuine and meaningful act. We evolve through various densities of consciousness, and our current human experience is designed for a grand choice: to rediscover unity through service to others, or to master separation through service to self. This cosmic game of hide and seek is what gives our lives profound meaning. Eastern sages mapped this territory for millennia. Buddha said, "Look within. You are the Buddha. There is no self. Only clinging." This isn't nihilism, it's freedom. When you feel a wave of anxiety, instead of thinking "I am anxious," you can observe. There is a sensation of anxiety moving through awareness. You are not the anxiety, you are the sky through which the cloud of anxiety passes. Lao Tzu said, "The Tao that can be named is not the eternal Tao." He taught Wu Wei, or effortless action, acting in harmony with the natural flow of life, rather than fighting it with the ego. The mystics of Advaita Vedanta stated it most directly: Atman is Brahman. The individual soul is God. It is crucial to understand this point. Recognizing the world as a dream or the self as an illusion is not an invitation to passivity or indifference. On the contrary, it's an invitation to become a lucid dreamer. When you know you are dreaming, you no longer fear the monsters in the dream. You can finally act in the world not from fear, but from a radical, creative, compassionate freedom. It isn't about abandoning the game, it's about playing it more beautifully. This all sounds like a fascinating philosophy. But is there any real, experiential proof? The answer comes from modern laboratories of the soul. Let's first explore the most spontaneous of these events, the near-death experience, or NDE. It happens when biology fails. But what is truly astonishing is the unbelievable consistency of what is reported by those who return. To illustrate, consider the story of Anne, a skeptic. In her own words, all pain vanished and I was floating peacefully, watching the doctors work on my body. There was no fear. I was pulled towards a light of pure, unconditional love. My life replayed before me without any judgment. The understanding was instantaneous. We are all one. Love is the fabric of reality. Anne's story echoes thousands of others. Now, let us turn to the other key, the psychedelic experience. Science has begun to study them seriously, confirming their power to temporarily dissolve the ego's grip. To understand this inner world, consider the journey of Mark. He describes it this way: I felt my sense of self, my name, my story, begin to dissolve. There was a moment of terror, the ego's death, followed by total liberation. I was no longer a person looking at the forest, I was the forest, a single node in an infinite web of conscious energy. My true self was the entire, peaceful web. The trigger is different, but the revelation is the same. You say you want the truth. But are you willing to burn for it? The truth doesn't stroke your ego. It incinerates it. It doesn't offer comfort. It offers liberation, through fire. No identity survives it. No story stands. You don't get to keep your mask. Because the one who seeks is the one in the way. The ache you've carried for years wasn't because you were far from God, but because you are God, pretending to be lost. First, we must recognize the burden we carry. A life lived purely through the ego is exhausting. It's the constant effort of defending an identity, the fear of judgment, the insatiable hunger for validation. That is why this practice is not a luxury, but a necessity. The practice is to cultivate the observer. The next time you are in a difficult conversation, try this: keep just 10% of your attention anchored within you. Simply notice, without judgment, my voice is getting louder. My heart is beating faster. This simple act of witnessing creates a space between the stimulus and your reaction. In that space lies your freedom. This is not about becoming passive. This is about creating the inner space from which all wise, loving, and powerful action is born. You are not your name. Not your face. Not your failures. Not your story. You are the sky. Not the weather. You are the ocean. Not the waves. You are not the character on the screen, nor are you the dramatic story. You are the light of the projector itself, from which all images arise, and the silent empty screen upon which they are all witnessed. You are God, pretending to be someone searching for God. And the cosmic joke? You were never not home. So here it is. You are the light. You always were. You just forgot. And all the pain was just the echo of pretending to be something smaller than you are. But now, you remember. Not because I told you. But because it's always been there. In the stillness. In the ache. In the breath. Now, you know. Welcome home.